Electric cars are the future, right? Clean, green, and good for the planet. But what if everything you've been told is just a half-truth? Buckle up, because we're about to show you the shocking reality of electric vehicles that the mainstream media doesn't want you to see. From hidden environmental costs to performance issues you never saw coming. This is the dark side of electric vehicles that might make you think twice before plugging in. Let's start with the elephant in the room: batteries. Sure, they power your car without gas, but at what cost? The production of electric vehicle batteries is far from green. It requires massive amounts of rare earth metals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Mining these materials is tearing up landscapes across the globe. Picture this: vast open pit mines in Chile's Atacama Desert, sucking up precious groundwater to extract lithium. Local communities are left high and dry, literally. For every ton of lithium produced, about 500,000 gallons of water are used. This is happening in one of the driest places on Earth. The result? Failing crops, dying livestock, and villagers abandoning ancestral settlements. And it doesn't stop there. In Congo, where most of the world's cobalt comes from, child labor is a dark reality of the mining industry. Kids as young as 7 work in dangerous conditions, exposed to toxic metals and at risk of fatal accidents. All this so we can have our clean cars. But wait, there's more. The carbon footprint of manufacturing an electric car is actually higher than a gas-powered vehicle. It takes years of driving before an electric vehicle breaks even in terms of overall emissions. A study by the MIT Energy Initiative found that the battery and fuel production for an electric vehicle generates higher emissions than the manufacturing of an automobile. It's not until the car has been driven for tens of thousands of miles that it offsets these initial emissions and pulls ahead of gas-powered cars in terms of total emissions. And that's assuming your electricity comes from renewable sources. If you're charging your car with coal-powered electricity, you might as well be driving a gas guzzler. In countries like China, where coal is still king, an electric car can actually produce 25% more emissions than a gas-powered car over its lifetime. Now, let's talk performance. Electric vehicles are quick off the line, no doubt. The instant torque of electric motors gives them impressive acceleration. But what happens when you push them to their limits? Battery drain becomes a real issue. Take a Tesla Model S on a track day, and you'll be lucky to get a few hot laps before the battery overheats and power output drops. This isn't just a problem for track enthusiasts. It affects everyday driving too. Push an electric vehicle hard on a mountain road or in extreme weather conditions, and you'll see your range plummet. It's not just about how far you can go, but how you can drive. And don't even get me started on long road trips. Range anxiety is real, folks. You might have to plan your entire journey around charging stations. Forget spontaneous detours or scenic routes. And when you do find a charger, be prepared to wait. Even fast chargers take 30 minutes to an hour for a decent charge. That's a far cry from the 5-minute pit stop at a gas station. Let's put this into perspective. A typical gas-powered car can go 300 to 400 miles on a tank, and refueling takes minutes. Most affordable electric vehicles have a range of 200 to 250 miles, and recharging takes much longer. On a long trip, you could spend hours just waiting for your car to charge. Speaking of charging, let's address the elephant in the room: infrastructure. Sure, charging networks are growing, but they're still not enough. In many areas, you're more likely to spot a unicorn than a charging station. And when you do find one, there's no guarantee it'll be working or compatible with your car. The charging station network is a patchwork of different companies, each with their own payment systems and plugs. Imagine if you had to worry about whether a gas station would work with your car every time you needed to fill up. That's the reality for electric vehicle owners today. Now, here's something the glossy electric vehicle ads never mention: battery degradation. Your smartphone battery loses capacity over time, right? Well, the same thing happens to electric vehicle batteries, just on a much larger and more expensive scale. After a few years, you might find your range significantly reduced. And replacing that battery, it could cost you as much as a decent used car. Let's break down the numbers. A new battery pack for a Tesla Model 3 can cost up to $16,000. For a Chevrolet Bolt, it's around $15,000. That's a significant chunk of the car's original value. And while these batteries are supposed to last 8 to 10 years, many owners report noticeable degradation much sooner. Let's talk about the winter woes of electric vehicles. Cold weather can slash your range by up to 40%. Imagine waking up on a frigid morning, only to find your car doesn't have enough juice to get you to work. And don't even think about cranking up the heat. That'll drain your battery even faster. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. In places with harsh winters, it can make electric vehicles impractical for many people. A study by AAA found that when the temperature drops to 20 degrees Fahrenheit and the HVAC system is used, the range of an electric vehicle decreases by 41% on average. Here's another dirty secret. Recycling electric vehicle batteries is a nightmare. The process is complex, expensive, and not always environmentally friendly. We're looking at a potential tsunami of toxic waste in the coming decades as the first generation of mass-market electric vehicles reaches the end of its life. Currently, only about 5% of lithium-ion batteries are recycled globally. The rest end up in landfills, where they can leak toxic chemicals into the soil and water. Developing efficient recycling processes for these batteries is crucial, but we're not there yet. And let's not forget about the grid. As more people switch to electric vehicles, our aging power infrastructure is struggling to keep up. Blackouts and brownouts could become more common, especially during peak charging times. Imagine a future where you can't charge your car because too many of your neighbors are doing the same. A study by the United States Department of Energy found that widespread adoption of electric vehicles could increase electricity demand by up to 38% by 2050. Our current grid simply isn't ready for this. Upgrading it will cost billions and take years. There's also the question of rare earth elements. These are crucial for electric vehicle motors, but they're called rare for a reason. China currently controls about 80% of the global supply. This could lead to geopolitical tensions and supply chain issues as demand for electric vehicles grows. Now, I'm not saying electric cars are all bad. They have their place and could be part of the solution to our transportation and environmental challenges. But it's crucial to understand the full picture, not just the shiny, eco-friendly image that's being sold to us. For instance, electric vehicles can be great for urban environments. They produce no tailpipe emissions, reducing air pollution in cities. They're also quieter, which could make our urban areas more livable. And as renewable energy becomes more prevalent, the environmental benefits of electric vehicles will increase. But we need to be honest about the challenges. We need better batteries that don't rely on problematic supply chains. We need to dramatically improve our recycling capabilities. And we need to upgrade our power grids to handle the increased demand. Moreover, we should consider whether a one-to-one replacement of gas cars with electric cars is really the best solution. Maybe we need to rethink our entire approach to transportation. Could improved public transit, better urban planning, or new technologies like hydrogen fuel cells be part of the answer? So, the next time you see a sleek electric car gliding silently down the street, remember there's more to the story. Are electric vehicles really the silver bullet we've been promised? Or are we trading one set of problems for another? As technology evolves and we learn more about the long-term impacts of electric vehicles, one thing's for sure: the future of transportation is far from settled. The real question is, are you ready for what comes next? And more importantly, are we asking the right questions about our transportation future?